Good morning to you once again. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. It is Tuesday the 23rd of March 2021. I hope you're doing great wherever it is you're listening to us from. It's a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning, and I'm glad that the weather's changed a little bit. So it's definitely given us some respite from the heat. I mean, the past week was really, really hot, but once we got the rain, it sort of made the weather a little cooler. So thankful for today, thankful for the weather. We're just thankful. All in all, we're thankful. I know that there's a lot, to complain about. There's a lot to see that's obviously we're not happy about, but I'm a believer of, staying optimistic, whatever situation I find myself in. And I always like to look for the good in every situation, even in people. I like to look for the good. If all I see is bad, I'm thinking I'm not looking hard enough, because it can't be all bad. Even as much as we complain as Nigerians, there's so much that we still have to be thankful for. And even though some people say that mindset is our exact problem, the fact that we see so much that is bad, and instead of focusing on it and working on it, we choose to see the good. But I think there's nothing wrong with that, as long as while you're seeing the good, you're also still working on the bad, if you know what I mean. So the problem may be that, we like to be the happiest people in the world. We like to sweep our problems under the carpet, and then just focus on what works. But then that can be mediocre in itself, because then you leave all of your problems just hanging there. No matter how much you sweep something under the carpet, it will remain there until you face it head on and fix it. So I hope that in as much as we're people who are happy, grateful Nigerians, lively Nigerians, always wanting to party Nigerians, that we also focus on our problems and fix it. And talking about the problems, obviously we've been in a pandemic for a little over a year. COVID-19, about this time last year was when we all went into a lockdown, and the whole world was, the numbers were hitting the roof, numbers of people that were, dying from COVID-19. And I'm glad that the numbers are coming down. I'm glad that there's now a vaccine, So I know that people are still asking questions about this vaccine. If you get the vaccine, doesn't mean you still can't get COVID-19. Doesn't mean you still cannot, pass on COVID-19 to other people. So people have questions about this vaccine. And I don't know how many people out there have registered to get vaccinated. I have, and I'm definitely waiting to get called to get my vaccine. But yes, there are still questions. But the fact still remains that, if we can all get vaccinated, it reduces our chances of being symptomatic, of dying from COVID-19 as well. So that in itself is, a eureka moment, and it's a good thing. So like I said, if we're going to focus on the good and not so much on the bad, then we must take the vaccine, and hopefully that will bring out all of the numbers that will ensure also that we have less people dying from COVID-19. And since there's still COVID-19 out there, it's important that you continue to mask up, stay safe, sanitize your hand, wash your hands, and of course social distance. Those things are still very, very important. I know that in some places you have already started business as usual, throwing parties, etc. But for the sake of those who obviously will not survive it if they contract COVID-19, you must continue to take precaution. A huge congratulations and well done still. Last week I went with Project Safe Up to a few schools, about 3 schools, and we distributed free masks, and it was such a humbling and very fulfilling moment and fulfilling time. I mean, these masks are free, and of course Project Safe Up partnered with the Mastercard Foundation in order to give over 2 million PPEs, which not just includes face masks but face shield, scrubs to health care centers, etc. and stuff like that. So we must continue to wear these masks and continue to do the right thing, social distance, and hopefully COVID-19 will be a thing of the past pretty soon. All right, so today on Beyond the Surface, we're talking about something that's very, very interesting. Yesterday, on the 21st, actually, was World Down Syndrome Day. World Down Syndrome Day. And for those who may not know, Down syndrome is a naturally occurring chromosomal arrangement that has always been a part of the human condition, being universally present across racial, gender, or socio-economic lines in approximately 1/800 live births. Although there is considerable variation worldwide, Down syndrome usually causes varying degrees of intellectual and physical disability and associated medical issues. It is something we're going to learn a bit more for. If you're just hearing Down syndrome for the first time, it is well, today we're going to get some more education about it. I'm sure all of us at some point have come in contact with a child or with someone with Down syndrome. And obviously, if it was your first time, maybe you can remember, you probably wondered, okay, what is going on? Why is this person different? One thing we can definitely say is that the person looks different. One thing about Down syndrome, even though it's a disability, is that you can definitely tell from the person. There are lots of disabilities in the world. And for a lot of them, you may not be able to tell just by looking at the person. You may not be able to tell by looking at the person, but Down syndrome is one of those, conditions where you can see by looking at that person that, okay, something is different. And I like that, thank God for technology. We're beginning to get exposure on a lot of things. So in the past, I've seen people say things that are very insensitive to people living with Down syndrome and stuff like that. And I'm really glad that technology has allowed us to get educated and to get exposure on how to deal with certain things that we will consider to be different. All right, so today I'm going to be talking to a woman who is very passionate and who advocates and has a support group for parents, caregivers, and lovers of children living with special needs. She's the convener of the Embrace One's Prayer Support and Advocacy Initiative. Her name is Bibora Yinkere, and she's joining me today on the program via the telephone. We're going to be speaking together. Let me actually get her back. I lost her call for a second. I will get her back. And we're going to be talking about Down syndrome. World Down Syndrome Day was yesterday, and it is a day to create more awareness because we still need more awareness about Down syndrome and disabilities generally. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's so good to have you here. Thank you very much for talking to me on the program today.
Thank you.
All right, for those who are just joining us, like I said, I'm talking to the convener of the Embrace One's Prayer Support and Advocacy Initiative. Her name is Bibora Yinkere. So teach me how to pronounce your first name.
Well.
Okay, Bibora. All right, thank you so much for joining me once again on the program. Now, 21st of March was World Down Syndrome Day. And I mean, a lot of people would describe Down syndrome as a chromosomal defect. Would you say that they're accurate in that description? Okay, I'm trying to... Hello, are you there, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right, so they're accurate. You can just simply say that Down syndrome is a chromosomal defect. Because I know a lot of people will say that when you come to describing something as a defect, some people these days especially will say it's not politically correct because there may be people who have Down syndrome who are listening. So that's what I'm asking if that's accurate, 100% accurate.
Well, that's the definition given by the National Down Syndrome Society.
Okay. All right, so now I know we've come a long way thanks to technology in getting exposure on lots of things. Would you say Down syndrome is one of those things that you would say that people are now more exposed, more educated?
Well, globally, yes, people are more exposed. People know more about Down syndrome. In Nigeria, there's an increasing awareness, but we are not there yet.
Okay, so like your organization, what are the things that your organization is doing in order to educate more people or create more awareness on the condition?
We usually tell people on all our social media space and on the print and electronic media.
they have different abilities, even in this disability. So what are some of the misconceptions that people have of people that have Down syndrome that you found? What are the misconceptions?
Okay, since when it comes to Down syndrome, because of their peculiar look, they have this flabby body, so people, and because of their facial,
face,
they have this unique facial look. So because of that, most people look at them and think that they are down, that they are not smart, they are not wise. People call them sometimes, okay, somebody said, Mumu, I went to school and I saw the children in an inclusive school, the children in the mainstream section wrote on the wall where the special children were, Mumu. So they look at them like they are not wise because really most of them have learning disabilities. So it takes them so long to learn. It takes them, they can remain in the class for 4 or 5 years if they are not in the right learning environment. So the major misconception people have about them is that they think that they are fools. They think they are not wise. And because of the name Down syndrome, they think down means they are actually down. But Down is just the name of the man who founded who discovered the condition. Down. So they are not, one of the things we said to the children we met yesterday is that they are not mediocres. And Down syndrome does not imply mental retardation.
Because I've seen some people living with Down syndrome who are actually quite smart. I can't remember somewhere in the US, one lady broke some record as the first Down syndrome person. I can't remember. So I know that if in the right situation and conditions, some of them actually thrive. Is that true?
They do. In fact, last week we showcased all of them who have excelled in gymnastics, excelled in acting, in modeling, and we even had one who is a graduate and he's a lecturer in the US.
Wow, that's phenomenal. And one thing you said that really touched me is the fact that you went to a school and some of the children who were saying certain things about. I know charity begins at home because I feel that children aren't just mean to other children. So what are the things that as parents, I think that we as parents need to also teach our children empathy at home. So yes, it's good that organizations like yours go and talk to these children and say, don't be mean to other children. But if their parents are mean people at home, children end up being mean because that's what they learned from home. So what can parents do to teach their children empathy, especially for people with that condition?
In fact, one of the things we do, we sensitize everybody. We throw the information about Down syndrome and other special conditions everywhere because we really don't know who needs to learn. For instance, sometimes I go to church and children just turn their back and keep staring at my daughter all through the service, and their mothers are sitting right beside them, and they don't caution them. So when I have that kind of situation, I go to the mother after the service to say, the child was staring at my child throughout the service. The child made my child uncomfortable, and then I try to sensitize her. Because parents, most of the time, they are the problem, really. Because if they talk to their children, they teach them to empathize.
Yes.
The discrimination, Down syndrome on its own, is not really the problem. The problem is the discrimination.
Exactly.
So if everybody learns to empathize, it will do a lot of the world of good. So yes, parents have a role to play in this. You have children that when they go to the homes of their neighbors, they shut their doors against them. When they're having parties, they don't invite these children. And even sometimes in schools, when they're having like end of year activity in the school, like when my daughter was in a mainstream school, I really commend the school. When they have end of year activities, they allow her come out. If they're having a maybe career day or whatever, she comes out. She may not play any role.
Yes.
But she will dress up in whatever chosen career and stand out with the other children. But we've had situations where in schools, they ask the children to step aside. We went to the school last year, a 5-year-old girl on the autistic spectrum. We went there, the teacher shaved her hair. That she was rough, she was stubborn, she was unruly, shaved her hair, and so much happens because a lot of adults don't know about the condition.
Exactly. We must do better as parents, we must do better as caregivers. We must expose our children. I read books to my children. I don't want my children to see somebody, for example, who's blind for the first time and then starts to look in shock. So I already tell her about when we watch a movie and we see somebody who's perhaps visually impaired, I tell her, some people cannot see, and I tell her in a way that so that when she sees somebody, but because a lot for the first time. And I think, of course, that comes with...
I start laughing.
Exactly. That comes with a lot of exposure. But I can imagine that for someone like you, who's had so many years and now has become somebody who's, helping other people, for somebody who does have a child with disability, it can be a shock. It can be scary. So I don't know what you went through in the initial stage and what people go through in the initial stage that you would be able to talk to them about how things will get better. What are things that you would say to people when they initially maybe have a child that has disabilities like, Down syndrome? What do you say to people like that?
Honestly, the initial stage is shock and denial, because it's something you didn't bargain for. It's something nobody prepared you for it. Like when I was pregnant for Miracle, that's her name, I was going for my antenatal, and I went to I think about the best hospital in Abuja. And they didn't prepare me for this.
Wow.
But I noticed that she came at home and she didn't cry. So but immediately after she came, it was like 3 a.m. I still went to the hospital, and I told them this baby didn't cry, and this is what I observed. Well, the doctor was like, the guy was like, oh, she's fine, maybe she was tired. Well, at 3 weeks, I took her back, and then I got the diagnosis. So I went through the stage of denial. I denied it. I said it can't be the blood of Jesus, all stuff like that. And then after that, I began to mourn because I had bought a lot of pretty dresses, nice dresses, and I expected her to do well. I expected her to be admired and to enjoy her life. So when the doctor started telling me that, oh, this child will behave lower than the average of everything, oh, they may need a lot of support, having the child may affect your job. That's one thing because the doctor tells me so much negative. And it's not really true, and it's really not good enough the way they put the news to most parents. So I went through the stage of denial, the stage of mourning. I thought she would never get to enjoy cartoon, enjoy TV, enjoy things. But now I've seen that it's not true. She's enjoying her life and she's really fun. And she has good emotional intelligence. So parents go through the mourning phase, but then after that they shouldn't remain there because depression will come. And if depression comes, then they start hiding the child away, and they themselves start feeling guilty. It's nobody's fault when the child with Down syndrome comes. Right. So you just, it's natural to go through the down period, that's the mourning and then the rejection stage, but you have to immediately recover and then begin to read. Begin to look out for other mothers like you, read about the condition, read about the intervention strategies, because early intervention for a child with Down syndrome goes a long way.
Absolutely. And just like you mentioned, we've come quite a way. I mean, to be fair, because these days I know of schools where they focus on special needs children. Back in the day, like you said, people would just hide their children. Some people would just even maybe kill those children. But now we have, schools where they can go, where they can focus on them and help them, wherever their disabilities are, where they aid them and help them to actually be able to do things like a lot of people.
Yes. In fact, there is this lady in Lagos, Mrs. Tola Makinde. She's doing well with children with Down syndrome. She's raising models out of them. And so yes, it's actually getting better in Nigeria.
Okay, is she still there? All right, okay, well, let's try and get... Hello? Okay, yes, you're good. You're back here. It's better.
I was talking about Mrs. Tola Makinde.
Yes.
She's in Lagos.
Yes, she has
a center for children with Down syndrome.
Right.
And this month, she put out a lot of beautiful pictures. The children modeling. And if they were to be from other countries, these pictures would have earned the children modeling contracts by now. So things are looking up, and we hope it gets better.
Absolutely. Also, when we say things are looking up, we also look at technology. For example, I know that there's a device now where when somebody's pregnant, I remember at one point when I was pregnant, when I went to do a second scan, and they said this scan was to sort of determine if the baby had conditions like this. So how has that helped, issues like Down syndrome technology?
Yes, it's like, even in Abuja, there are clinics like that where you go through all those tests. But now the problem is that we still have that notion, it's a misconception.
Okay.
We still have the misconception that women older than 35 years are likely to have Down syndrome deaths.
Yes.
But now that is not true. Even young ladies of 17, 18 have Down syndrome deaths. So we need all the government hospitals and even private hospitals to expose every woman who is pregnant to this test. And then when you expose the woman to the test, it's not to give her the option of abortion.
Eating, yes.
Yes, but to encourage her and lead her in the right path. I've seen, I belong to some society, some support groups abroad, where a lady is pregnant and she's already introduced to the support group. And she's saying, I'm 20 weeks, I'm 24 weeks, and this and that. So how do I prepare for my baby? You know, so that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Before the baby even comes out, you already know that this is what to expect. And you've already started loving the baby and preparing for the baby before the baby comes out.
Absolutely, because people who also, eventually there are people who do know and then still decide that they're going to have the baby, and the baby still, come out. And like you said, one of the things I have noticed about, children with Down is that their emotional intelligence is always, they're super huggy, super loving, super sweet, and super smart. So that's definitely, all right. So before I let you go, I know that World Down Syndrome Day, what are the things that you have talked about, how you were able to actually go to certain schools, certain places. What is your plan? I know your organization is about 5 years old.
Yes.
Okay, so what are the plans for the future for your organization?
Right now we have a center.
Okay,
in Abuja.
Right.
It's called Base. We plan to expand it, to make it a full learning and vocational center. Where people with Down syndrome can actually learn, because they are very good with their hands, they are good, with vocational skills. Right. So we want to really train them, because we don't want to just go talking. We want to train them so that when people see them, they can actually, acknowledge the fact that there's something in them. And then we want more, like I really appreciate you for this call, because this is the kind of thing we are looking out for, because
it's not
publicity, the advocacy, the information needs to go out.
Yes.
So we hope in the future to get this information everywhere. We want everyone in Nigeria to know what Down syndrome is. We want everyone in Nigeria to sensitize to be able to identify a child, an individual with Down syndrome, and to be able to provide the needed support.
Absolutely. And so to normalize it, not that, to say everybody should, but when you do see it, it shouldn't be like, shock, and then start to, get uncomfortable around them. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bibera. Thank you for your time here and for talking to me this morning. I appreciate you. All the best in your advocacy for people with disabilities. We definitely appreciate you.
I'm really grateful for this call. Right. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful day. For those who are just tuning in, I've just spoken to the convener of the Engraced Ones Prayer Support and Advocacy Initiative as a support group for parents, caregivers, and lovers of children living with disabilities. Stay tuned. It's still beyond the surface. We're looking at World Down Syndrome Day and conditions and disabilities like Down syndrome. I'll be right back.
When we say the new Maltina pineapple and vanilla taste like adventure, here's what we mean. You get up like an action hero. Check yourself out in the mirror. And then, in slow-mo, you grab a chilled bottle of Maltina pineapple or Maltina vanilla. And enjoy the taste-piration. Own the flavor with the new Maltina Vanilla, Pineapple or Classic, and let the taste-piration feeling. Maltina. Share happiness.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take to protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use comfort?
No dear, no use for teeth dey cause most toothpaste will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The compound formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate. Don't let power outage interrupt your life. Geno's inverters come on automatically during power outage, so you enjoy continuous power without interruption. Get Genos and enjoy power without noise and without manual changeover. Call 0700-111-2233. That is 0700-111-2233. Genos inverters and batteries, energizing lives.
much. Hey! Don't you think it's time to change that phone and step up to something bigger and better? Samsung has yet another exciting offer. You heard right. It's the Galaxy A71, A51, and A31 at a reduced price of 151,500 naira, 99,500 naira, and 86,000 naira respectively. That's not all. You also get 3,000 naira airtime when you buy the Galaxy A12, A02, and A02s. Hurry now. Offer valid while stock lasts. T's and C's apply.
You don't wait for life. You go to meet life. It's not about how many chances you get. It's what you do with what you've got. Morning after morning, cup after cup. Start strong, finish strong. With the stimulating aroma and rich, creamy taste of Nescafe 3-in-1. It all starts with Nescafe.
Hey, why did you put it in the pot like that? You're supposed to break it first. This is how I cook my pasta. Besides, it's golden penny pasta. It's not sticky, so it doesn't matter. But I want to cook it with meatballs, mixed with pepper sauce and cheese.
Go ahead and enjoy your golden penny pasta just the way you want it. Golden penny pasta is made with brown meat, which contains protein, and it's non-sticky, so you can cook, serve, and eat just the way you want it. With golden penny pasta, your way is best.
Hello, Mrs. Martins. Yes. Oh, Mrs. Johnson. How may I help you? Jim's body temperature is high and he's complaining about headaches and body aches. Not to worry. Get Brustin and suspension. Okay, ma'am. I'll call you back.
Brustin and Suspension for Children is a sweet-tasting brand of ibuprofen which provides relief against toothache, pains, and fever in children after 30 minutes.
Hello, ma'am. Oh, Junior, stop that. Is everything okay, Mrs. Johnson? Yes, ma'am. Junior is fine now. In fact, Junior, sorry, ma'am. I'll call you back.
Brustin and Suspension for Children. Always take the product after meal. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor. A quality product from Rambaxay.
Jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìwọ ni mò ń bá wí ìwọ tó fẹ́ràn láti máa fẹ́ bí rẹ ní nǹkan tó dáa jù mo mọ̀ wípé ó fẹ́ràn awúni lórí DSTV decoder bundle yìí kàkà ẹgbẹ̀rún méjìdínlógúnlélọ́gọ́rùn-ún náírà ó lè ra DSTV HD decoder tuntun pẹ̀lú àkókò ìwòran oṣù kan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lórí DSTV Confirm fowó tó kéré bíi ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàádínlọ́gọ́rùn-ún náírà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó gbọ́ mi dáadáa. Pẹ̀lú àkókò ìwòran oṣù kan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lórí DSTV Confirm fowó tó kéré bíi ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàádínlọ́gọ́rùn-ún náírà tó bá jẹ́ni tó sábà máa ń fẹ́ kẹ́bí rẹ̀ gbádùn àwọn eré alárinrin àkókò rẹ̀ rèé àǹfààní yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kejì fúngbà díẹ̀ ní o ìlànà àtàdéhùn sí wà DSTV Nàìjíríà àsìkò rẹ̀ ni. Hello?
Now you be the lucky customer when we want dash our Adam's apple olive cream. We go help reduce the size of your Adam's apple. You go flat and saute.
What's the ear no cook here? Ha! If to see I don't get data now, I don't know who they call no pick am.
Hey, no matter your phone, whether you get data or not, you sabi with the call. Turn off the line with MTN with the call. Now 5 naira per day and 15 naira per month. Dial star 5058 hash. Make you enjoy. Everywhere you go, MTN.
What's he doing for? We no need to stress at all. Say it but nothing for us. If we jolly they go, if we stop picking money, daddy, take a life for you. Put you to tomorrow. Since we go, back to the slow. Tell him I'll get a life probe. We done there, so we have to for you. 80,000 worth of people. For 50 people every week. Put a seed on for your seat. That's the opportunity. Send it back. Send it back. Send it back. 5,000 naira. Send it back. Send it back. Send it back.
For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/better life. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Mommy, let's play football. Mommy, it's my bicycle. Mommy, don't play. Mommy, here, let's play hide and seek. Mommy, let's have some Twisco. You need it.
It's easy to spot a Twisco kid because they seem to be so active. Introducing new Twisco chocolate drink powder, a unique blend of cocoa, milk, and malt, fortified with Anafort, a special blend of vitamins and minerals that helps give kids the vitality they need for an action-packed day. Twisco, power your dream.
Do you know you can study in Hungary and Cyprus with ease?
Yes, the representative of Istvan University in Hungary and European University of Levsk in North Cyprus are at your beck and call here in Ibadan, Nigeria.
These schools are in partnership with the Edu Consort of Ruscon Travels and Tours Limited, and over the years, several students have gained admission and visa to study and get their degree by leveraging on this partnership. Ruscon Travels and Tours Limited is your link to study in Istvan University in Hungary and North Cyprus European University of Levsk.
Two world-class universities with campuses located in a serene and friendly environment. You pay zero deposit and service charge until your visa is secured. For more inquiries, call 0816-932-9152. Again, 0816-932-9152.
Our office is at number 53 MKO Abiola Way, Ajigbo Bus Stop, Ring Road, Ibadan, Oyo State. On Facebook and Instagram at Ruscon Travels NG, Ruscon Travels and Tours. Alright, let's go to Hungary and Cyprus for qualitative education.
Fresh Farms ní kó o bá dìwò pọ̀ ní ìbá kẹsẹ̀rọ̀ ọ̀nù ilé lówó rẹ̀ wọ́n bá ṣiṣẹ́ fún ọ.
Títí dé o fún gbogbo èèyàn. Ìgbélárugẹ sí àgbẹ̀, abisuta lóko abàgbàdo pọ̀pọ̀ àlọ́run ebè. Fresh Farms ilé-iṣẹ́ abámipínlẹ̀ ọ̀la lẹ́ka ètò ọ̀gbẹ̀ ló ń ṣe bẹ̀bẹ̀ láti máa fi sí àgbẹ̀ pínlẹ̀ ọ̀la fún gbogbo èèyàn nípa pípín èrè oko òòjọ́ Fresh Farms produce káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti nípa ìbánidókòwò lẹ́ka ètò ọ̀gbẹ̀. Fẹ́ẹ̀sì máa rèrè ní tabua ní ìlànà àròjẹ àti taládà ńlá. Ẹlẹ́dókòwò lórí ọ̀gbìn kaṣú, gbẹ̀gùdá, ata, tòmátì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Fẹ́ẹ̀sì tún lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti máa tọpinpin èrè oko yín lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára àti lójúkorojú. Ìlànà ìgbàlódé tó wáyà ní Fresh Farms ti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ yìí o. Fún àlàyé kàn sí wọn lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára www.freshfarms.ng tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbáraẹnisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 09073612624. Fresh Farms pípín èrè oko òòjọ́ dìrọ̀rùn.
So you know say time don reach to replace that your phone. Make it to for step up to correct level wey get bigger and better. See Samsung don get another Osho free ways to win. Not free girl. Just get the Galaxy A51, A51 and A31 where the price don reduce to 151,500 naira, 99,500 naira, and 86,000 naira respectively. It never finish o. You go follow get 3,000 naira recharge when you buy the Galaxy A12, A02 and A02s. You pick go offer valid while stock lasts. These are fees apply.
If only we could show you on radio our stylish new look. But since we can't, go to the nearest store to pick up some Amstel Malta. And for Team Fit fans, try the new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. New look Amstel Malta.
And new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. So good for you.
Amstel Malta, be your best. Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. It's still the morning splash, and we have some news for you, where the parliamentary staff of Nigeria are right now protesting over the non-implementation of financial autonomy. David Bello is there and will be speaking to the chairman, who is Comrade Yemi Alani. Hello, David Bello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, I'm fine.
Great. So you're right now at the Secretariat. Tell us what's happening.
Well, right now the State Secretariat, the gates to the State House of Assembly has been barricaded and closed such that there are no entry and no exit. And the workers attached to the Parliament are protesting. They are making some demands and calling for financial autonomy in the state legislative arm of government. I have the chairman here with me also.
Okay, great. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you here, sir.
I'm Comrade Yemi Alani.
Chairman Kombrejemi Alade, Chairman Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, Asan of your state chapter.
So what are you agitating for, sir?
We are embarking on the strike action because we observe a fundamental position of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is way observed in the negative, which is financial autonomy of the legislative arm of government. And we believe with the current emasculation of the legislative arm of government, there cannot be true democracy, and the doctrine of separation of power has been relegated to the background.
So what are you hoping to come out of this agitation, this protest, sir? What are you hoping?
There is an order from the national headquarters directing all the 36 House of Assembly to embark in determined strike action. So we have gotten a directive from the national headquarters in Abuja. So, and we have to join the strike has been directed by our national headquarters.
Okay, that's the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria. How long do you reckon that this will continue, will go on? How long do you reckon this will go on? This strike?
It's an indefinite strike.
Yes,
so it's an indefinite strike until our demand are met. So as long.
All right, thank you very much, comrade.
Yeah, thank you, Mokan.
Thank you for speaking with us, David.
All right. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, David Bello. Thank you very much, and I bet you're going to station there and let us know what the updates of this protest will be.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, David Bello.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, comrade David Bello. I reckon you'll be stationed to give us more updates on this protest as time goes on.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, David Bello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. I said I reckon you'll be stationed there to give us more updates as the day continues on the protest.
Definitely I will, but as it is an indefinite strike, it simply goes to show that activities at the State House of Assembly will be paralyzed with further conflict.
All right, thank you very much, David Bello. We'll definitely keep our eyes on this story. All right, thank you for listening. We'll be right back on the Morning Smash with more. Don't go away.
Las Matas with Rinka Adenka and friends returns with a vengeance. Featuring Nigeria's finest Cuda, Spectre, Amababa, Dr. Smart, Asdos, Mike Abdul, Amalaria, Larry Day, Pederu, Fabulous Beezy, Remote, Dr. Whiteberry, All the Good Guy, Olympia, Shete, Nepa Boss, Yemi Elesho, Barry J, BJ Sachs, Baptista, and Vivo. 8 Sunday, April 4th, Jogger Center, 3 p.m. Tickets, 3K, 5K, 10K, 250K, 500K. Tickets available at Hanson's Palms Mall, Ultima Restaurants, Ace Supermarkets, Renwick Stores, and online at RealTickets.com. Buy any tickets and stand a chance to win a plot of land courtesy Revolution Plus Properties, powered by Waltina, supported by Cruiser Lounge and Bistro, Extension Publication, and the Oyo State Government. Media partners 105.5, The Splash. Observing all COVID-19 protocols. No face mask, no entry. Las Matas with Rinka Adenka and friends. Expect the unexpected.
So you must have time don't reach to replace that your phone. Make it to for step up to correct level. We get bigger and better. See, after don't get another Osho freeway suite. Not free, girl. Just get the Galaxy A51, A51 and A31 where the price don't reduce to 151,500 naira, 99,500 naira, and 86,000 naira respectively. They never finish show. You can follow get 3,000 naira recharge when you buy the Galaxy S9, A02 and A02S. You people of a valid while stock last. These are fees apply.
It is time for celebration. That the years must be good as day. The challenge can never stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate it. Must be with so much greatness. Get started.
Oh, make you no sleep on top bicycle. This better don't die rapper. For those of you who never using an MTN SIM for over 15 days now, MTN don't charge. Come increase your welcome back of our whoop to 12 times your recharge when you load 100 naira and above. Yes, so no be one, no be two, no be three, no be four, no be even 10 cents. Now 12 times your recharge, then go take credit and data knock your phone. This one means if you recharge 100 naira, MTN go sell you with 900 naira credit plus 300 naira data bonus. If you call recharge 200 naira, now 1,800 naira credit go drop on your phone plus 600 naira data bonus. Just make sure that you use star 161 star recharge free hash, take recharge and enjoy your bonus for up to 30 days. This one don't pass, welcome back. MTN go add short banker second term on top self. Like, whether my MTN SIM, make me self begin follow enjoy better too. Everywhere you go, MTN. You don't put yeast for bread before? The dough go just the rise. They rise like 5,000 naira when you put for EcoBank. Before you know, if it become 25,000 naira. Now so EcoBank customers just the dance a willow as EcoBank Super Rewards don't begin to put their money falla. Save 5,000 naira for your EcoBank account for 30 days or open new EcoBank account with 5,000 naira deposit and you fit be one of the 50 people who go collect 25,000 naira a week every week for 4 months. 4 people go win 1 million naira grand prize each. Collect EcoBank card for your account and link your card to star 326 hash or EcoBank mobile to increase your assurance. Terms and conditions apply. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Ta ló sọ yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ṣe ń ṣe pásítà tèmi nìyẹn àti pé kókè pẹ́ẹ́nì ní pásítà tí kì í lẹ́pọ̀ kò sí ìyọnu. àwọn èmi fèsì pẹ̀lú ṣàkì àti oríṣiríṣi àtàkà tí kò kúrò àti wíwòrò.
Gbádùn golden penny pasta bó ṣe fẹ́ àṣe golden penny pasta pẹ̀lú èpo àlìkámà durum wheat inú protein tí kì í sí lẹ́pọ̀ kò ní àǹfààní láti sè é wù tàbí jẹ bó ṣe fẹ́ nítorí pé kò ní lẹ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú golden penny pasta bó ṣe fẹ́ ló dáa jù.
When we say the new Maltina pineapple and vanilla tastes like adventure, here's what we mean. You get up like an action hero. Check yourself out in the mirror. And then, in slow-mo, you grab a chilled bottle of Maltina pineapple or Maltina vanilla. And enjoy the taste-spiration. Own the flavor with the new Maltina Vanilla Pineapple All Classic and leave the taste-spiration feeling. Maltina. Share happiness.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use comfort?
No dear, no room for teeth dey cause most toothpaste will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Pẹ̀lú oríṣiríṣi ara yín ẹ̀mú ohun tó wọ́n yín bábà ìbá ìjọba orogun síbi onírin àní ohunkóhun ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣeré ìdárayá ọ̀pá arúgbó